fine. Let's just... Hi, we're the CineBeards. Jason's too busy looking at his phone to introduce us. So, I'm Marcus. Dion's here too.
Hi!
And Jason is also here, I guess.
Shh, I'm busy.
And today, I guess we're gonna look at the news, maybe some trailers that came out this past week.
I've been super out of it, so I'm curious to hear what's going on.
And yeah, I guess, Jason, if you're done looking at your phone, you can kick us off.
Okay, so first thing I think we need to talk about this week is Rotten Tomatoes and the shit they pulled.
Oh my freaking goodness! I was hoping you wouldn't have to go there.
The absolutely pointless shit that they pulled.
Yeah.
Not pointless. That's the thing. Not pointless, because there was an actual result.
Yeah?
Well, there was an actual consequence to it, which was the fact that the really negative score for Justice League was delayed until a full day or two after review embargoes had lifted.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's because for a lot of casual film goers, for better or worse, the instinct is to go glance at the Rotten Tomatoes score, maybe scroll through some basic reviews, and make a decision based on that. They could not do that.
Hence why Rotten Tomatoes called that stupid, silly Facebook show they've got See It, Skip It.
Yeah, they're trying to do the whole Roger Ebert thumbs up, thumbs down thing.
That show is pretty much the worst thing on the internet.
I watched about 45 seconds of it, and I almost killed myself.
Yeah. Well, also, look, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories, but I think I mentioned this on the group in the week, is the Rotten Tomatoes score only went live about 7 hours before the first screening in the States.
Yeah.
Meaning people were already in a period where they couldn't cancel their pre-bought tickets anymore.
Yeah.
Because you can only cancel with a refund 24 hours earlier. 24 hours before your show. So
now, I'm not saying the fact that I think one of Warner Brothers subsidiaries or one of their parent companies has a minority stake.
Fandango fully owns Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Fandango is partly owned by Warner Brothers.
Okay, cool. I'm not saying that there's any kind of sort of conspiracy going on, the fact that it's a Warner Brothers film and the fact that Fandango relies on ticket sales and they want as many ticket sales for Justice League as possible, and that delaying the Rotten Tomatoes score, which was bound to be bad, would in some way boost ticket sales by not letting people who would generally rely on Rotten Tomatoes to make informed decisions. I'm not saying that.
No, you are. That's really what you just said.
Oh yeah, that is what I'm saying. Never mind. That's precisely what I'm fucking saying.
I came in and sniped your joke.
You did. And I would love to see someone prove otherwise.
Yeah, no, it's honestly bullshit.
It's one of the sleaziest, most transparently bullshit things I've seen, because it's not only, even if you take that element out of it, the fact that they want more people to watch Justice League, just the fact that they're a review aggregator. They're supposed to be
Impartial.
neutral, totally impartial, neutral. Yeah. The fact that they're taking films and that they are using the power that they have, the influence that they have,
the perceived social clout that they have.
Yeah, which they do to not only sort of keep people from their preferred source of critic reviews, but also to boost the numbers for what is honestly the worst fucking show on YouTube.
Facebook. It's not even on YouTube.
It's a Facebook thing.
Is it Facebook? Okay, I thought it was just embedded. I just clicked play.
No,
I skipped through a little. It was fucking horrifying. And then I just stopped.
No, it's literally a Facebook show. They wouldn't dare put that on YouTube. It would get downvoted to hell.
Okay, that makes sense. It is cancer. And that they're abusing their position in order to push a terrible show at the expense of the movie-going public is just fuck that. There is literally
and the thing is,
nothing redeeming about that.
No point to it either, because when they put that show up, the Rotten Tomatoes score is 43%. Yeah. It's changed several times since then. It's now sitting at 40.
39 actually.
I just checked it this minute.
Oh, when I checked, that's
When
a good
I
point.
last checked, it was 37. So
Yeah, when I checked it before I came here for recording, it was sitting at 39.
Yeah, I looked at it right
so
now.
they're
while
reviewing
recording
it.
is 40.
They're reviewing it like it's the host country for a World Cup or something. You know, it's like
Yeah.
being pulled out of an envelope, effectively.
Yeah, there's this big fanfare at the end where they show the percentage score, which is almost immediately irrelevant and wrong.
Welcome to the internet, where the points are made up and the games don't matter.
Yeah, I'd like to hear, just, can either of you think of a non-cynical reason for this happening? Like I know this is Fandango deliberately trying to obfuscate, like, the sort of information about bad films in order to drive ticket sales. I know they're trying to push their footprint. They're trying to develop their sort of themselves as a brand.
And you know they're definitely going to put advertising on these videos,
Of
which
course.
people are then obviously going to flock to see the score,
Yes.
because it says that
And
right where the score's supposed to be.
advertising related to film.
Yep.
Can you say conflict of interest? Can you say IGN? Can you?
I'm trying my best.
But it just sounds like that, where basically, even though the Rotten Tomatoes score will still ultimately probably be fairly neutral, especially the actual average score, not the tomato meter,
Yeah.
the tiny little average score that they give, because that tends to line up usually within a
A point or
point
two
of the Metacritic.
like a
it's
decimal
usually
point or two
pretty
Metacritic,
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, I can't think of how they're justifying this.
There's no rational justification for this. It is a blatant money grab.
Yeah.
That's what it is. A blatant money grab by shitty people.
Yeah, really, really shitty, terrible people. Oh wow.
But yay,
Yeah.
fuck the consumer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, I went there frequently, even after I'd read a couple of reviews, and there's no tomato meter. There's no score yet. There's no critic consensus yet. There's no reviews listed. There's a couple of user reviews. That's it. What the fuck?
Yeah, honestly, other than for the use on this podcast, and even then I'm hesitant. I'm not going to be using Rotten Tomatoes anymore.
Yeah. No, I'm
done
going
with
straight to Metacritic.
Straight to Metacritic. Done. Really, honestly, done with this shit.
But they know most people, they want that tomato meter score.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, despite our efforts, people still don't seem to understand how Rotten Tomatoes works.
Yeah.
You know, I saw a lot of people in the comments saying, who cares what score Rotten Tomatoes gives it? Rotten Tomatoes don't know everything. Rotten Tomatoes hate superhero films. Like, what? You know, like that sort of commentary
That's just
where
misinformation.
Where they think Rotten Tomatoes is like is a site that gives a single review.
Yeah. And it is the review that everyone points to because it is the review of
Well,
the
it's a
movie.
percentage. It's really easy to understand,
Yeah.
and it's got either a nice red tomato or
Or
a
a
green
green.
splooty tomato, and it's really easy to understand.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, Metacritic for me, fuck
Yep.
Rotten Tomatoes. Fuck
Yep.
Fandango, and Warner Brothers can eat a bag of dicks.
Seconded. And on that note, I have maybe a reason why they decided to give that a try with Justice League, and that's that apparently Justice League needs to make back over $600 million to even turn a small profit.
I wouldn't even say
to break even.
Yeah,
Because
in fairness, they had. I think Justice League is the second or third film that they did it with. I know Bad Moms 2.
They,
apparently
did they
they,
do it?
the
Okay, then
Justice
that's-
League was the second. That was like
I think it was the third.
I think it was the third, but it's the first major.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Major.
It's the first. It's way too early for them to be using this sort of the scheme on a
Yeah.
tentpole film, and I
Yeah.
agree with you there that the fact that they would make that leap before they were ready with Justice League is
The fact that they need to make that money back.
that is and that's a lot of
$600
money.
million to break even.
And it's apparently
Yeah.
not had the greatest opening
It's-
weekend.
Well, as of recording this, on Box Office Mojo at the moment, the film has raked in $281 million worldwide.
Really?
So it's almost made back its production budget. Its production budget
Without
was
research.
300
Has
million.
Without reshoots and
has it opened simultaneously in China?
I'm not sure if it's open in China
Because
just yet.
because if it hasn't opened in China and it's already made 281, that's actually really good.
It was a
Yeah,
simultaneous
and remember,
release
this
in
doesn't
China.
Was it?
this doesn't
Alright.
include the
I'm breaking the
Sunday
fourth wall
release.
by screaming from across the
Mhm.
room.
this doesn't include the Sunday of release.
Okay, that's good. You know, and I have really mixed feelings about this. Maybe you can tell me how to feel. I've been feeling like I want them to cleanse themselves of the poison of Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, right? On the other hand, I know that they're course correcting. Like, I know a lot of it was like done before they could fix it. They know what direction they should be going in for the most part. I want to encourage that, but you also don't necessarily want this film breaking
Breaking a billion.
and them going like, oh, hold on a second, the big CGI villain thing still works.
Well,
But
look,
here's
they
the- but
put,
here's
they
the-
put
here's
their
the-
eggs in the basket already. They're
Yeah.
gonna keep making these Justice League movies because they've
Yeah.
committed
No,
themselves.
but
to-
I'm just wondering, like, them breaking a billion with us, what message that is going to send?
Is it going to send them the message that, okay, this new stuff that you're doing is good, or the old stuff that's still in there is good?
No,
Yeah.
I think if I were Warner Brothers, if I were
Then you could eat a bag of
Then you
dicks.
could eat a whole big
a
bag.
whole
of
big
dicks.
bag, and I would enjoy them because I'm Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
I'm all of the brothers in one body. If this makes more than Batman v Superman, I would hope, against hope, appropriately, that they would steer more towards
Yeah.
what is perceived as having worked in
Yeah.
Justice League.
Because
If it
because
makes-
because what worked in Justice League is the same kind of stuff that worked in Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
which also
Which
did
is
incredibly
domestically
well.
domestically to the States is their highest grossing.
And
Yes.
only featured Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yes.
even a team up.
Yeah.
If this makes less money, God forbid, than Batman v
I'm worried
Superman
about
did,
that.
then we have to worry about what Warner Brothers would do.
Yeah,
Yes.
because then, I mean, they're already in panic mode, and against all odds, it seems that for the most part, in that panic state, they made the right decisions on a lot of things. Not
Yeah.
all things, but on more things than I expected them to. So I'm kind of hoping the film does, like, really, really, really well.
but
the
not
really,
too well.
Yeah, but the really negative, and for once, I kind of feel like a lot of reviewers are focusing on the negatives, which is obviously
That's how
totally
you get
right.
clicks.
Yeah, obviously totally correct. There is a lot to criticize. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's
No,
a lot.
There's a lot to criticize.
But there's also a lot to celebrate, and I feel in the reviews that I've been reading, by and large, they're
glossing
basically
over that.
just taking their Batman v Superman review and replacing it with Justice League, and maybe adding in like, oh, there's a couple of jokes tacked on. Like I'm seeing that a lot,
Yeah,
and that worries
you see that,
me.
But there are also outlets that historically gave a horrendously scathing review of Batman v Superman, who ended up enjoying Justice League.
Case in
I've
point
seen
would
that
be
as
John
well.
Roker.
Yes.
Oh, really? I haven't
Yeah.
actually seen his checked out his thoughts.
He
yet.
absolutely hated Batman v Superman, and he enjoyed the shit out of Justice League.
Yeah.
Good. That's a good. That's a really good sign.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they take the
Chris
that,
Stuckman as well.
Yeah, Stockman as
And
well.
Jeremy Johns to
To a degree.
a degree.
because historically what I've seen from Warner Brothers is that they fixate on weird things. Like with Batman v Superman, like their response to the critique was, "Yeah, we understand some people didn't like the tone." Like that wasn't the problem. Like the tone was like one small subset of a whole huge
Laundry list. of
laundry
problems.
list of massive issues, and like wasn't the most important part. The tone would be fine if it was a good film. Like
Yeah.
it's sort of
Yeah.
being grim and dark.
films, yeah, grimdark films can be good if they're made well.
Yeah, it's imagine someone like Christopher Nolan were to make like a dark Batman movie.
Yeah, imagine.
Just imagine
grim
that.
realistic
Imagine, and
Batman
yeah,
movie.
and where he would take like a rom-com actor and turn him into something.
No, but critics
dark
would
and
hate that
twisted.
because they only like Marvel movies
Yeah.
with jokes.
And fun. That's why Thor Ragnarok is a perfect movie.
So yeah, so I'm just always worried, like, what signal. So I'm hoping, as Marcus says, that if this film does really, really well, or at least does better than Batman v Superman, they'll say, cool, our course correction is right.
Or not even if it does as well as Batman v Superman, if it doesn't have as big of a drop off Friday to Friday.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's why I'm hoping people go to see it. I want to reward what they're doing right rather than punish the leftover bad
I
things.
think the big problem with it, though, is a lot of people are going in wanting to hate it.
Yeah.
After Batman,
That
v
was me.
Superman,
That was me.
After Suicide Squad, people are going in with their mind set on hating it. And while your mind might have been changed, there's
lot of
enough bad
people's
in
weren't.
there that, like, there's so much bad in there that people probably came out vindicated. Like, yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah,
It sucks.
if you go in wanting to hate it, there's a very good chance
There's a
you
lot
will
for you to
find
find in
everything
there.
you need to hate the film. Like, I went in expecting to hate, not wanting to hate it, but expecting to hate it, but hoping to have my mind changed. And I did, because I was entertained. So I'm just hoping that they take the right signals, that the film makes back its production budget, and that they continue with their course correction. Because if it makes less than Batman v Superman, they go, well, you know what? Let's go back.
Yeah, that made more money.
That made more money. Let's go back to that.
Wonder Woman's done the best for them in terms of budget to profit ratio.
Yeah.
It's done better than Batman v Superman.
Yes, but this is Warner Brothers we're talking about.
And they just look at turnover, not profit.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm hoping it's there. I'm heartened to hear, because I just sort of very briefly, I've been totally out of it. So I was literally just scrolling through news and seeing headlines.
Yes.
Then again, I remember seeing a lot of headlines right after Homecoming came out saying that it's a disaster for,
Is
at
it?
the box
Was it?
office.
I never read.
No, it wasn't. No, I saw quite a few saying like this is like a disaster, like the reboot is a failure financially.
I did not see those stories, but
there
then again,
there were quite a few. I remember being incredibly annoyed.
but it's
well, like we discussed in one of the Unnamed
Clicks.
podcast, the movie itself isn't a masterpiece, but it's a hug.
Yeah.
It's
Well, it's
a
great.
well,
It's a
it's
super
good.
massively entertaining piece
Yeah.
of film, and that's what it needed to be.
Yeah, that's what it needed to be. It didn't need
So,
to be.
but I mean, yeah, people will focus on the negative in order to get their clicks.
Well, also like we were saying last week in our "Is Cinema Getting Worse" episode, like Marcus said, it's a lot easier to put your review up quickly if you're focusing on the negatives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how quickly is it to write this? Like in terms of Justice League specifically,
Crap CGI.
crap CGI,
Horrible writing.
horrible writing. I don't like this Batman yet.
Yeah.
There, that's a review.
It's super easy to do. It is a lot harder to find the good and to and not necessarily like excuse the bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not saying excuse bad. We're saying
Recognize the good.
yes.
Yeah,
So
true.
yeah, Rotten Tomatoes then. Screw that.
Fuck Rotten Tomatoes.
What else have we got? Before we can talk about something fun.
Before we can talk about something fun, well, I got fun stuff here though.
Okay, what's fun there?
Well, you know Edward James Olmos
No.
and how he's in
Nearly.
in the new Predators.
I know him
The new
biblically.
Predator movie.
Hey.
That's a hot scoop.
Yeah,
That is the
okay.
hot scoop.
All right.
Is that the position you use? The hot scoop.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, I got a little bit of a quote from him here about the Predator movie that Shane Black is doing.
Yes.
Leading on from something else, and he just says, because Keegan-Michael Key and Thomas Jane, they make...
Wait, what? Keegan-Michael Key is also in it.
Yeah.
How do I not know this?
Jeez. Okay. Yeah.
Half of Key and
that-
Peele.
that- half of Key and Peele and Thomas Jane in a Shane Black movie.
Okay.
like,
Wow.
like
What?
already it's...
Like, take my money already. Like, screw whatever Edward James Olmos said. I'm already on board now.
Yeah, so essentially what it boils down to is he's saying that Predator is incredibly funny, but also deadly and a Predator movie.
Nice.
And honestly, all I needed to be really excited about this movie was what Marcus was just excited about. Yeah, Shane Black with Keegan-Michael Key and Thomas Jane.
That is going to be interesting.
And apparently they're put into a mental asylum for post-traumatic stress disorder, and then we don't know specifics, but due to something with the Predators, they get broken out of this insane asylum with a few of the other patients. And I'm guessing hilarity and murder ensues.
Hooray!
I know how they break out. Okay, because it's a Shane Black movie. The town where the asylum is one of those towns that's really hot on tons and tons of Christmas lights. Everybody plugs in their stuff, and it shorts out the town. There's a blackout, and the asylum doors swing open, and the patients run out. That's something Shane Black would do, though.
That sounds very Shane Black.
I especially like the part about Christmas.
Yeah. I hope you get a co-screenwriting credit when this inevitably happens.
Oh, if it happens, like, everybody knows I'm already a precog on this podcast. Or they should.
So that's a nice little bit of good news there.
That's awesome.
And then news, which is, I guess, neutral for me, because I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, but the Fantastic Beasts 2 has cast Jude Law as young Dumbledore.
I think that's a good casting. I'm also not a particular Potterphile.
Is that what they call themselves?
No, but that's what I call
Potterphile. I prefer that to what they call themselves.
What do they call themselves?
Harry Potter fans.
Oh, that's weird.
That's
kind of gross.
That's like Whovians calling themselves Doctor Who fans.
That's crazy.
What do they actually call them? Potterheads.
I don't give a shit.
I'm not gonna Google
anyway,
it.
Regardless, like, I think from what I know of the films, which I have been subjected to, like, I think it's a good casting because he'll be obviously he's much younger, and I think he's obviously this is earlier, and I think like when Michael Gambon took over the role, I think it lost a lot. Like Michael Gambon was absolutely just going through the motions. Like he was literally just collecting a paycheck. Yeah. There was no character there. And I think Jude Law's got the sort of because it's supposed to be like a really beloved character and intriguing character in the universe. And Michael Gambon just kind of stood there and sort of delivered lines. So I think Jude Law's a good person to sort of explain why everyone freaking loves Dumbledore.
Yeah, Jude.
And I think he'll do fairly good up against the one-trick pony Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp's in it.
Yeah, he plays the villain.
Grindelwald?
Grimoire Gothface.
I mean, I wasn't excited about the film, but now I'm just actively.
Oh, he's different in this one. He's got bleached hair
and a tiny Oh no, he always has moustaches. Damn it!
No, but it's a bleached moustache.
It's a bleached moustache. Okay, so it's completely different to his other characters where he plays.
No, I'm not sold. I'm not happy about that.
Yeah, the thing is,
isn't Ezra Miller in Fantastic Beasts?
He was in the first one, and he was the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, I sort of remember that now. It's coming back to me, like PTSD flashbacks. Ugh.
And the worst part about that movie is they had Colin Farrell in there. And it turned out that Colin Farrell was Johnny Depp the whole time, so we're going to get no more Colin Farrell.
Oh, I remember the ending now. Oh god, that was horrifying.
That made a lot more money sense 8 years ago.
Yeah,
when they were planning.
He's actively a liability now.
Yeah, he is.
Especially with all the sort of the allegations against him, and just he's just a bit of a wreck. And I mean. Yeah, for a franchise like a family franchise, he's really. I can't see them making more Pirates movies, for instance.
My question is, how is everybody not a massive Colin Farrell fan post In Bruges?
Didn't I tell you to watch In Bruges?
Because I
watched it when it came out.
Because I think about 5 people watched it.
Yeah, I was one of 2 of those 5 people are in this room.
I watched it.
Okay, 3 of the 5 people are in the room.
The 2 of you out there, we love you.
Yeah, we're good.
We love you, Thomas, and who else would likely have watched it?
I think
Lyle, maybe.
Lyle.
Martina also saw it, so 6 people.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, this is wow.
I watched it with my wife, so that's 7. My wife, Martina.
And
Bringing that joke back.
And I know Jacqueline has seen it. So that's a few people that have actually...
that have watched the movie.
Okay, but still, less than 10.
But
Yeah.
all of those less than 10 people now love Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet
And
they
I
keep
guess-
casting Johnny Depp in things.
Yeah. I just... Couldn't they have just had Johnny Depp for the first movie and then recast him? And we've got Colin Farrell moving forward for everything else.
That was just so I actually had completely blocked that out. That was so bad. And what are they calling it? The new Fantastic
The
Beasts?
crimes of Johnny Depp's character.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the crimes of the movie is, like, as that one person I think on Twitter said, bringing back Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
That's his name.
That's his
The
name.
thing is, what this also shows is a lack of foresight, because the title "Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them" makes sense.
Yes.
As
Yes.
a title. Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald does not.
Just get rid of the Fantastic Beasts part.
But the problem is that has now become the franchise name. That you could
Yeah.
do Harry Potter and the
Yes.
Do you
for
wanna know the
everything.
worst
That
part of
made
this?
sense. This was literally them going, "Oh shit, we're making more of these."
7 of them.
Yeah, Fantastic Beasts:
7.
The Crimes of Grindelwald. That does not work. Someone dropped the ball really heavily. I mean, there were several balls dropped for sure.
They could have just
But not
called
Johnny
it
Depp's.
Newt and the whatever.
Yeah,
Like, go with the Harry Potter naming thing.
Yeah, that would make sense.
because Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them makes sense, and it was a throwback for all the Potter fans, and they painted themselves into the corner. And they're going to have to make 5 more of these titles with Fantastic Beasts, something, something, something.
Fantastic Beasts, cancer.
By the way,
Fantastic
7.
Beasts, robots in disguise.
7.
Yes, 7.
7.
That is some bullshit.
Dude,
That
that's how
movie-
franchises work, though. You gotta make at least 7.
That's the thing, is like that movie barely actually that movie didn't warrant
I
a
mean,
Boy,
sequel.
I
they're
do love when they allow me to name things.
They're taking the last 50 Shades movie and turning it into 3.
What?
Really?
No, but that would be hilarious.
Oh my god.
I was so believable. It was so believable.
Wow, we lost the game thingy there.
I think everyone lost.
Everyone lost when they greenlit the first one, let's be
Yeah.
honest here. And it's like they stopped even releasing them on Valentine's Day because nobody cares anymore. They just get dumped. Like, this one's coming out in fucking January.
Jeez. Ouch.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's a story for another
Yeah,
time.
okay, yeah, well, fuck Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
And I think Jude Law as Dumbledore is as good a choice as you're going to make.
Yeah.
Pretty
I think
much.
so. Like, you're never going to get the perfect casting that everyone's happy with,
No.
especially with the
And
character.
I
that
mean,
love.
as someone who's very objective or very neutral, shall I say, like, I'm not invested in the universe at all. But I know it well enough to know that, like, that's much better casting than Michael Gambon ever was, so.
Yeah. Okay. Marcus, you had a piece of news you wanted to discuss?
Oh, so, yes, Sony are grabbing the bull by the penis, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are just greenlighting more and more Spider-Man spin-off movies still.
Okay.
The latest one is Morbius the Living Vampire.
Oh, bringing back the whole vampire thing. That's trendy, right?
Vampires
Yeah.
are super trendy at the moment, just like zombies.
I mean, the only way a Morbius movie would work is if they had the rights to Blade, to reintroduce Blade, who is an amazing character and deserves more screen time.
Who has the rights to Blade?
Oh, Marvel owns Blade now.
So, you know how Marvel and Sony have this kind of relationship going on at the moment?
Yeah, but
this is not it. This is not.
This is outside of the...
This is outside of the MCU.
Okay.
but also like
Just
I,
like
I
Venom.
don't think Marvel would entrust Blade to
Sony.
Like Sony had to go, okay, Marvel, we will allow you to babysit us.
Yeah.
Marvel is not going to go and, like, let the child be the babysitter.
A man can dream. I just want Blade again.
I want Blade again, but I do not want Marvel handing Blade over.
No,
Blade over to Sony.
not handing it over. Because if Blade is in that movie, it means Marvel then gets oversight of that movie.
Yeah, but that's more. That's a whole bunch more.
It's
like-
a whole different kettle of fish. Look, I just think Sony is.
Who keeps fish
no,
in a
but what
kettle?
I'm thinking now.
Who wants stinky tea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Swedish. what I'm thinking is, to me, these moves by Sony, specifically with Venom, who is a decidedly adult character, and now Morbius.
Morbius, I don't know at all. So,
Morbius is basically he was a student colleague of Peter Parker. He found out about Kurt Connor's experiments with the whole, gene splicing thing, which turned Kurt Connors into a lizard. He tries to replicate it, gets zapped with a vampire bat, and becomes like a man-bat thing, right? And then eventually, like, evolves into a full-blown vampire.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Cool. Vampire. Cool.
So
Sounds
he's-
a little bit like you're trying to chorus there.
Yeah.
No,
This
I'm
sounds
not
like
trying
you're
to core you.
bullshitting me.
I wish I was.
Okay.
The point I'm trying to make is, it seems like Sony is now, because Spider-Man is family friendly, they're going after that hard R superhero market that's burgeoning with these two projects.
All right. In fairness, like I'm sort of neutral on the whole hard R thing. Like I think it's a
If
good
this-
thing. It's a good thing that they can be made. Like
Yes.
I mean, with something like with Logan, where it just really serves the project.
Yes.
But boy, oh boy, do I feel like Sony's they're just getting this ship like pointed in the right, this train pointed in the right direction. Like I just feel like they're going after way too much, way too quickly.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
they are.
it's like they just got a fresh new basket that's kind of falling apart a little bit. If you just give it some time, the glue will settle in
Yeah.
a hole, and they're like, oh, and they put all their eggs into that before it
Yeah.
could handle it.
Yeah.
And I have the feeling that it's just gonna break, and all the
my
eggs. Are
and
gonna
my feeling as someone who loves superhero films and just and the sort of the spin-offs is just that the more people do stuff like this and the more things, not that this will necessarily fail, but my instinct tells me like this doesn't bode well. The more people do stuff like this, the more they saturate the market with things that are cash grabs,
yeah.
the more they're hurting the long-term health of
Yeah.
the genre.
Yeah. I mean, I could be wrong. They could be taking Morbius the Living Vampire and turning it into a vampire-themed horror movie.
Yeah.
And I would be down for that.
But I mean, Fox they've been impressing me now with their how ballsy they're being with their X-Men projects.
The side projects.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking about like the main, like the
No, the mainline X-Men movies can eat a bag of dicks. But
hey,
all of
First
this,
Class was great. Shut up.
Yeah, First
these-
Class was good.
okay, First Class was good because
The mainline ones, excluding the new mainline ones, excluding First Class, can eat a bag of dicks.
yes,
There we go.
because remember, First Class wasn't supposed to reboot the series.
Yeah.
Originally, it
was
was its own
supposed to be a
standalone project. Then they went and screwed it up.
Yeah,
So their side projects are doing well. Logan,
and they're
Phenomenal
taking
movie. Deadpool.
risks which I like. They're
Yeah.
keeping it fresh. They're surprising me. I mean, with like the full-on horror.
yeah, for New Mutants, that whole vibe. I hope it keeps that tone. I
Yeah,
hope that
I'm-
wasn't just like a Halloweeny spooky trailer drop.
Yeah. That's a good point, eh? That's a good
Yeah.
point. I'm gonna keep my hopes in check
Yeah.
because I was allowing myself to get excited. But you're right. Let's hold out.
Keep your excitement in check, but hold on to that hope.
Yeah.
There we go. Thanks, Diana. But yeah, just hold on. Keep my expectations in check, but hold on to hope. I agree. I agree with that thing that I just made up
Yes.
through the power of editing. All right. Yeah, so I'm not sure how I feel about that until I know more, but I do feel like Sony is overextending themselves.
Yeah. It does feel like they might be going a bit far now.
Yeah.
might be grabbing
They're
a little
seeing
bit too much.
they're seeing dollar signs.
They're seeing
Big
those
time.
dollar signs. I mean, how much money did Deadpool make? Almost $1 billion, like 700 or something million.
Not as much as it
Yeah, but Deadpool made a ton of cash
off a tiny
off
budget.
a very tiny budget.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, despite all the behind the scenes drama and all of that she said stuff, I'm really impressed that they're keeping that smaller budget for the sequel.
Yes.
Okay, Deadpool made a total of $783 million.
Good, it deserved every penny.
Yeah, off a production budget of 15 million, something ridiculous.
Production
like that.
budget of $58 million.
58 million. That's
Yeah,
still
because remember they had their budget slashed and they had to basically beg for a little more money.
yeah.
And they said they're keeping that scale of budget for the sequel, which I'm happy about. The thing that always worries me is if you have a low budget breakout hit, they're gonna say, "Cool, here's $200 million, make massive set pieces."
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. They're still good, don't get me wrong, but the second two Lord of the Ring movies
Yeah.
weren't as good as the first one because the budget went to Peter Jackson's head.
In fairness, I mean, also the
All of them were a lot better than that. We don't talk about.
no,
Yeah,
shut up, didn't
those-
happen.
yeah.
What are you talking about?
I don't
What
know.
was I? Did I have a stroke again?
The thing is, what I read an interview with what's his name, Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen,
Yes.
Yeah, where he said if New Line Cinema hadn't given them more money to do extensive reshoots on Fellowship of the Ring, the sequels would have been straight to DVD. Because apparently it was a disaster until they did like a lot, like a ton of extra filming for a ton of extra money. And I think when that worked and the film was a success, Peter Jackson was in the driving seat, and then he George Lucas basically. Not nearly as hard.
Not nearly as hard as he
Not
did
nearly
in
as
that
hard.
unmentionable.
Yeah, no, well, not nearly as hard as George Lucas.
Yeah.
But he did. He went a little bit crazy, and he was like, "Oh, we can do this, and we can have this, and we can," instead of saying, should. So yeah,
Yes.
Fellowship holds up so incredibly well for the character moments.
Yeah, they needed a Jurassic Park Jeff Goldblum in there.
Why?
Because he says you've been so concerned whether or not you
Oh.
could that you never asked whether or not you should.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything needs a Jeff Goldblum.
This is true.
We're still securing the rights for a Jeff Goldblum for this podcast.
I just wanted to go back 1 second just so you could see what Johnny Depp looks like in Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, fuck you. Jesus. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Sorry, I really wanted your live reaction to that.
He and Jared Leto spent the evening hanging out and doing drugs. And then, they went to the director. They're like, "Okay, we know what this character should look like, and we won't take no for an answer." Oh shit, dude, that's fucking horrifying.
It is.
Okay,
Dion, you had a news story.
Yes,
for us,
yes,
that's
yes,
all.
yes. One other piece of news is that Rian Johnson has confirmed that The Last Jedi is the longest Star Wars film. I think it's 6 minutes longer than Clone Wars. It is 2.5 hours. It is 150 minutes of fucking Star Wars goodness.
please.
Yes, in my face.
And it is the Star Wars movie that obviously, I mean, that has earned this man a trilogy of his own.
Which you can learn about next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also apparently has like an incredibly like powerful send off for Carrie Fisher.
Oh, I'm gonna cry
So,
like a
yeah.
little
Oh,
bitch.
dude,
So-
I'm gonna be in a puddle.
So
a
just
puddle of Jason.
just from what I've seen from the footage, just everything about it just screams like I want as much of this as is humanly possible, and that it is the longest Star Wars film makes me incredibly happy.
That is some damn good news.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, trailers.
Trailers.
No,
Deadpool
there's
2.
one last thing. There's one last thing that I wanted to bring up. The bidding war to
Oh,
distribute
yes.
Tarantino's ninth movie?
Ninth.
Ninth movie,
But
codename 9.
It's easy to remember which one was his eighth one.
Yeah, The Hateful Eight.
Yeah, because hate rhymes with eight.
Yes.
And that's how you remember it.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's how I remember it.
Yeah, because it's the one after Django, and Django is Spanish for 7.
Yes. Is it really? I don't speak Spanish.
No, but it is 7 letters.
No, and
in
that
the-
and
in the
that
word
and that
Django.
Offspring song only gets like that doesn't go far enough for me to know.
1, 2, 3, 14. That's all I know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Says.
Django.
Django, Hateful Eight.
So anyway, the bidding wars are over
Oh yeah.
because he pulled it from the Weinstein Company
Yeah,
because
course.
of reasons.
Which I don't fully understand because he was totally fine with it until
Yeah,
it was
yeah, he
up
would.
and-
He could. No, but remember with the information he had, he could have done more than he did, which was absolutely fucking nothing. But let's carry on. Alright.
It is now going to be distributed by Sony. They won the bidding war.
That's all right. It's distribution. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Creative
here's somebody-
control is creative control.
Yeah,
not
cut
Scrunchel.
control. Yeah.
Yeah,
Creative control
no,
is
you
still
do
in
not
his
take
hand.
creative control away from Tarantino.
No,
It's
no.
impossible.
Like, I think at this point it's just like Tarantino will do
Well,
what
it's probably
Tarantino
in his
does.
thing,
Yeah.
like when he put it up for bidding, is that look, this is my baby, you're not messing with it.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean they know like, yeah, it just makes sense.
Mm.
Sony has the they're not some fucking small indie company like
Yeah.
and they're not having to actually make the film. So
Yeah.
I'd be hard pressed to see how they could fuck it up.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Well, you say that now.
Wah, wah, wah.
And also, just a fun fact: apparently, Tom Cruise is circling the project. He wants into Tarantino's project.
Let's hope Sony doesn't have the power to cast him.
They don't.
Okay, well then.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the thing is, if I hear like that he's been cast in it, then I'm fine with it because I know it was Tarantino's call.
Yes.
And he's got something planned.
And
Yeah.
he would
That's
write
gonna-
it specifically for.
Yeah. I mean, that's
he's
one
got,
thing
He's got something
Tarantino-
planned that's gonna. I'm gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
like whoa, you know,
Whoa,
Tarantino's
whoa,
not gonna
that-
cast
that'd
Tom.
be like a really weird
He's not gonna
parallel.
be all. He's not gonna be all like starstruck and go, oh, Tom Cruise wants to be in my movie. I'm gonna
Yeah.
just put him
He's
in.
like-
It'll be really
Like, who the
really,
fuck is
like,
Tom Cruise asshole?
Really
Can
kind
he
of
bleed?
meta, I get.
Hmm?
It would be really kind of meta, I guess, if you cast Tom Cruise as like a cult leader.
Oh, ouchies.
In what
'Cause-
way?
Well, it is the Manson movie, so they are
Yes.
indoctrinated peeps.
Yes, I follow that, but where does Tom Cruise fit in?
Somewhere
He's
in
a
the line there.
scientist
Like
and an ologist as well.
an ologist.
An ologist. Don't those guys study eggs?
Yeah, so he's a
Egg
he's
scientist.
yeah, he's an egg scientist, a scientologist. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it now. He studies eggs, and eggs are the proof of cults. Illuminati confirmed. Got it.
Yeah, got it. Half-Life 3. You heard it here first.
Half-Life
Now,
3
people have been
confirmed.
hearing Half-Life 3 for ages. Dude.
Oh no! Damn it! Someone got the scoop.
Someone got the scoop and coined the
Damn
term.
you, Gaben!
Okay, so yeah, if Tom Cruise wants in, like, if Tarantino
If
says
Tarantino-
yes, then
yeah.
like at this point, like,
Yeah, all that I know casting-wise from this is Tarantino himself wants Leo back because he gets some
Yeah,
great
writing
performances
a
out of
part
Leo.
for him apparently.
And he also wants Margot Robbie.
yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
about that,
Yeah.
and that makes perfect sense as well.
hmm
Yeah.
Especially given the chemistry between those two on Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes. I
Yeah.
believe that is a part of it. I don't know how he's writing or what he's writing, but at
And,
this
and
point,
also predictably for Tarantino, he's writing a part for.
yeah. I mean, the
Samuel L.
thing
Jackson.
about me,
What?
really, the thing about me, my relationship with Tarantino is, I already know I'm gonna go watch it,
Yeah.
regardless. I mean, he could literally, I could walk into the cinema without seeing a trailer, and it could just be a literal turd drying out in the desert for 2 hours, and he would have already had my money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
it would
like,
be very
there-
Tarantino-esque.
there's not a lot of
No, the
filmmakers.
turd would be bleeding.
There's not a lot of filmmakers like that. Yeah, and the turd will be dropping N bombs. There's not a lot of filmmakers like that.
Wait,
for
we just
me,
described Donald Trump.
where I would literally just like immediately just I wouldn't even need to see a trailer.
Yeah,
I
sight
would just go see
unseen,
it.
just go.
But I mean, like, I think for me it's Tarantino and Christopher Nolan.
I think when we discussed it, we were a little bit iffy about it being the Manson murders.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
It's about the Manson family. He's going to say it's not about Charles Manson or the murders specifically.
Okay.
It's more about the interactions around that time. So...
Well, who's another film? I'm trying to think. Who's another filmmaker in that category?
For me, it's Villeneuve.
Okay.
Now, after
that you'll just go and see.
I'll just go and see.
Edgar Wright.
Yeah,
is up.
I think my
three
three would be Tarantino, Christopher Nolan, and Edgar Wright. Where I wouldn't even need to see a trailer.
Yeah.
Mine would be Villeneuve, Edgar Wright, and Nolan, and Tarantino.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you're into his stuff, because Tarantino's just going to be Tarantino. He's not going to suddenly... He's not going to suddenly do, like, a sellout Christmas movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, out of nowhere for the paycheck. He's just not that guy. Like, you either love his films or you don't.
And Nolan's worst movie is Interstellar.
Yeah, and Interstellar, I still really enjoy, despite many
despite many plot holes and flaws.
Despite... The thing is, it's like... In the moment, you're not always going like, oh, there's a plot hole, this that. It's mostly when you get home, because obviously it's got that Hans Zimmer score that's just overwhelming you. Just being
and you can't even hear the plot holes.
Yeah, you're just being carried along, and you're just on the journey, and then afterwards you go home, and you go, huh?
Yeah.
Like, what? Although there were definitely some really stupid things at the end.
But to be honest, if Interstellar's the worst movie you've made,
you're okay.
I think you're okay.
You're doing okay, and I will still go watch anything you make by default.
Yeah.
For me, it would be Nolan, or not.
I think Nolan tops that pile for me, by the way.
No, for me, it's Tarantino, Villeneuve, and I actually want to say like Shane Black.
Edgar Wright tops that pile for me. I think.
I think Edgar
Wright's top him.
Shane Black, I would still go watch, but I would still want to watch the trailer.
The problem is, like, my favorite directors are all like kind of dead.
Only kinda.
Only kinda. I mean, Brian De Palma, I would watch anything he said. John McTiernan is effectively, because he was in prison and like he's not making movies anymore. Kubrick, obviously. You know,
I wouldn't just watch anything by Kubrick though. Like,
you see, I would, but that's where we differ.
Yeah, Kubrick was kind of hit and miss for me. But well, geniuses and all that.
Yeah. Hey, at least no one here would go watch Michael Bay's Sight Unseen.
I would, because I know I'd have to talk about it on this podcast.
You would, but not out of choice.
Not out of choice. That's how I felt about Justice League, to be fair. Hey, maybe Michael Bay is going to impress me next.
Yeah.
Alright, what else is news?
We're just going to look at a couple of them trailers. Yeah.
So I saw a little Deadpool teaser. Don't know if you guys have spotted it.
What's a Deadpool?
I think I did. Wait a minute. I sent you the link.
Damn right you did. And I watched the crap out of that several times. So good. You watch it only the second time around that I actually read all the color names.
Yeah. A Clockwork Orange, Betty White.
Those were outstanding. It was so good, and I love the really well selected shots.
Really well selected
in the middle, like where it just sort of goes to like clips from the film.
Yeah.
And then back to the sort of the jokey conceit.
Every
one of those were just well selected to get me hyped.
Yeah, it was a super unconventional trailer and very, very appropriate for Deadpool.
Yeah. Also, you know what's funny to me? I was reading like reactions online, and obviously I stumbled on the Hollywood Reporter because they have a lot of stuff as it happens, and it pops up in my feed. So these guys are talking about it. Yeah, and you see like their conversation because they type it out as if they're talking on a podcast or whatever. I don't know what written words even mean these days. But one of their writers was like, and I'm paraphrasing here, it was funny, but I think over 70% of the target audience have no idea who Bob Ross is.
I think they underestimate...
Bob Ross is a meme.
No,
I was going to say, like, I think they underestimate the power of the internet.
Yeah. I mean, they underestimate...
Even if they don't know who he is, they know the meme.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, last year, no, it was earlier this year, the biggest, like, non-gaming related stream on Twitch was a Bob Ross marathon.
Yeah.
The Joy of Painting, they streamed all of it in its entirety, and it got millions upon millions
That's like
of
saying,
views.
why was David Hasselhoff in Guardians of the Galaxy? He was an 80s star. Like 70% of the audience won't even know who he is.
Yeah.
It's like
They know the cultural
you do
impact.
You do not understand the internet, people.
Yeah, they don't understand it. Like the target audience for Deadpool knows who Bob Ross is.
Yeah.
And finds that joke hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes.
By default, and it was just so pulled off so well.
Like I love Ryan Reynolds so much.
Fully
man,
committed. He was
he's great.
absolutely born to play that role.
Yeah. I love cocaine.
And God did he fight long and hard to get
Yeah.
Yeah, he
it
did.
to where it is now.
Yeah. It's all I almost believe him when he says it wasn't him that leaked that test footage
No,
initially.
it definitely was.
No,
it
it
fucking absolutely was. And I'm so glad he did.
Now, if you haven't
Do you
seen
know
the
who else is
Deadpool,
so glad he did? Fox.
yeah,
Fucking idiots. They were sitting on that
Yeah.
forever. And they're just like, nah, no one's going to want to watch
I was
this.
surprised their stock prices didn't fall because the people backing them lost confidence in their decision-making abilities.
And I also can't believe that they cut Deadpool's budget during production. But by quite a substantial number. Like they cut it like quite severely, and they managed to still make that film. Fucking idiots. Again, then they made Logan. It's alright.
yeah.
I forgive you, Fox.
They
that was
learned.
also-
They learned. Okay, they
Yeah,
learned.
I mostly forgive you, Fox.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just remembered the main X-Men continuity.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
I mostly forgive you.
Yeah.
I was just about to say purple Oscar
If you-
Isaac.
What are you talking about?
In the new Star Wars trailer, his CRT monitor's broken.
Poe Dameron's a purple now?
Well,
That's
Wait,
their
what?
word. You can't use that. Grapes.
wasn't Poe the purple Teletubby? Like, I don't know their colors well enough, but I know that was one of them.
Yeah. Let's see. Because if
No.
it was, then the
Dipsy
conspiracy-
was the purple. Tinker Winky, Dipsy, Lala, and Poe. I think Poe was the green one.
I'm putting my money down on Poe being purple.
Okay, let's see. He's red.
Damn it!
We're both wrong.
Who's the purple one?
Tinky Winky.
I like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
that
yeah.
Poe. I like that Poe is the fourth Teletubby. Like she's the fourth Teletubby. Height 6'5".
What?
Holy shit!
What?
Favorite thing: scooter.
The Teletubbies are not 6 foot
information.
she's fucking no. Height 6'5".
And Poe's demonstrably the shortest of the Teletubbies.
This is fucking terrible.
Dion, get me their heights. Find me
is
the tallest
terrifying.
Teletubby.
Teletubbies wiki. Teletubbies.wikia.com. Oh my good
There's a
lord.
wiki for everything these days. How are they so tall?
I don't know. That's terrifying. It's fucking terrifying.
Hair none.
Thanks.
No,
Wait, but
that
are they not-
thing thing doesn't have hair on its body. I thought that was all fur.
I did too.
Is it just
You're
a
breaking
one
my
skin?
mind, Dion.
Skin red outside, white inside.
Ooh.
Here's a quote. Here's a quote from Poe and Lala from the episode "Digging in the Sand for Worms." Oh! Exclamation point.
That's a good
That's
quote.
a
That's
quote.
that's one of the memorable quotes.
Hot fucking damn. She's always heard to shout some words in Cantonese, such as feed it and for foster, and sometimes yat yi sam for 1, 2, 3. Cantonese!
Is this? Are you unearthing a conspiracy theory in real time,
I
Dion?
think I am!
Are you saying that the Teletubbies were actually communist Chinese propaganda?
It absolutely seems that way. Okay, I'm
She was red.
gonna dig deeper into Lala.
Tinker Winky looms around 10 feet tall.
What?
That's the
No.
tallest one of them. 10 feet.
What? That is horrifying.
Sorry, folks, we'll get back to the news now, but this
No,
is
no,
just way more
this is
interesting.
way more important.
This is horrifying.
When Lala gets frustrated, she sometimes shouts a strange word. Bibbly cheese. She's a silly and cute Teletubby, and most of the time she has a cheerful personality. She is as intelligent as Tinky Winky and Dipsy and Poe. It has to be said. Hot damn.
So what you're saying is we should pitch a gritty reboot of the Teletubbies.
We really should.
Where
She's
they are
6'6".
villains.
She's 6'6". Her favorite thing is an orange bouncy ball.
Why? Why is this here? Why?
Lala's the best singer of the Teletubbies.
Shut
a
up!
total girly girl.
Shut up! I'm fucking done. No, fuck off. Let's move on. So
She likes singing and dancing and doing
Dion,
ballet in the
Dion,
skirts.
stop!
But
You're out of control.
But Lala's
And doing
favorite...
ballet in the skirt and goes la la lee la la lee la la lee la la
The
to
lolly
itself.
lolly lolly low.
Wow.
That's a Metal Gear Solid
That's a
reference.
Metal Gear Solid reference.
The lolly 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 low.
That I didn't do that at all.
Yeah. Also, Lala's favorite thing is an orange bouncy ball. I've seen that in a Metal Gear Solid... Metal Gear Solid game.
I'm sorry, but you,
Guys.
I'm sorry, but you can't tell me that this photo isn't from an FBI dossier.
Okay, no.
No.
Done.
Done.
Done. I'm calling.
I'm terrified. I'm not sleeping tonight. There's
That's
some
how
weird...
they like it.
Why do they speak Cantonese?
Why do they reference Metal Gear Solid?
Why are they so tall? So incredibly, terrifyingly tall.
Why do they have
They're
TVs
taller.
inside of their stomachs?
Wait a minute. How tall was
And why are
Barney
they
the
called
dinosaur?
Teletubbies and not Teletummies? I hate everything about them, and they terrify me.
This is scary. And why
Okay.
is the son a baby?
Okay,
All right.
fuck off.
What's next?
Last thing, there was a Incredibles 2 trailer released,
Ooh, was there? I haven't seen it.
but
A
it's
little
just
teaser.
a little teaser where you see some of Jack's powers and then nothing much else. Like there's no, it's not a story
No
teaser.
I've
context,
been
It's
waiting so fucking long for that movie. That is my favorite Pixar movie. Like nothing else is even. I mean, I love a lot of Pixar films, but that is the one that I can just rewatch forever.
Yeah,
That is so close to a perfect film for me. Like I just love it.
Have it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, likewise.
Yep. Brad Bird knows how to do his animated movies.
That he absolutely
He knows
does.
how to do his movies.
What and the one thing that I really like about the Incredibles is one of the strengths of Pixar films is that whole thing of like they're very poignant and they sort of they get adults to cry and all that kind of stuff, and like this one steers clear of that, but still manages to be really really rich without having to resort to tearjerker.
Yes.
And I like that helps. That for me gives it even more rewatch value.
And what I really enjoy about it is they made it as relevant to the parents watching it with their kids as it is to the kids.
Yeah,
Like, it means as much to both of them watching, if not more to the parents.
yeah.
It's just... It's really so
The
good.
Incredibles was great, and they should have sequelized it sooner.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm always
definitely.
worried when a sequel comes this far afterwards.
It's over a decade.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
the first Incredibles was 2004.
Something like yeah.
It was 2004 because it was the
long.
year after Finding Nemo.
Jeez.
That's pretty... Yo. Okay.
So they're
Well,
following.
I
Wait,
don't-
what movie came out in 2005? Because that's obviously the one coming after the 10, 12 years later sequel.
I don't know my Pixar releases
Nah, I think
that
it was
well.
Cars.
Oh, they've already had 3. Never mind.
Yeah, no, they've had enough.
Yeah. And then the last trailer that I want to mention is for Rampage.
What's that?
Well, you know that old arcade game where you played a monkey, a crocodile, or like a wolf, and you went and destroyed buildings?
Yeah.
Which
They
was
made that
hella
into
fun.
a movie. A hell of fun.
Hella.
That was, yeah.
It was so much fun.
It's now a
As
movie
fun as a Cape Blanchett
starring
villain.
Rock the Dwayne
Yeah.
Johnson.
Whoa! Does he
Yeah.
play all 3 characters?
No, he plays the
building.
the gorilla's best friend.
He plays Human Man.
Human man, best friend to the gorilla, who touches a space experiment that turns him into a giant gorilla.
Take my money.
Like, it's gonna be hot garbage, and I'm gonna
They've
laugh
got
every
they've
single
got
time.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan doing an impression of John Hamm from Baby Driver in the movie.
I'm sorry. You can stop trying to sell this to me, you network. You like studio shills. Like you've already got my money. You've got my credit card on file.
We'll only tell you our score like
After I've seen it.
You haven't heard of the 30-foot wolf?
Yeah, it's looking like the right kind of bad movie.
Nice.
It's
Geostorm. I gotta say, reawakened my hunger for like
it's
entertaining bad films.
gonna be hot garbage, but it's gonna be so fun to watch.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, small budget like B movies as they are, like regular B movies, are good. But these really, really big budget studio B movies are where it's at.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely my jam at the moment. The new Independence Day, Geostorm, like that's what I need in my life.
Yeah. So yeah, super excited for that.
I can't wait to watch this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna do it for this episode. All that's left is the recommendations. Mine is gonna sound a little weird at the moment, but when you hear our review special discussion thing on Thursday, it'll make more sense. Go out and see Justice League.
Damn right.
That's all I'm going to say for now. Go out and see it.
Yep. My recommendation is apparently they are releasing Jabberwocky on Blu-ray. Remastered Terry Gilliam's masterpiece featuring several members of the Python crew coming out on Blu-ray. I'm buying the hell out of that.
Nice.
Yes. Marcus.
Well, now mine's gonna sound lame because it's all serious. Netflix just released this past Friday alongside Punisher, which you should watch. Punisher is great. One of their Oscar contender movies, Mudbound. Long story short, it's about two World War II veterans, one being a Caucasian male and the other one being African American, who both come back, move to Mississippi for different reasons, and have to deal with like deep South racism while they have become friends through the war. It's apparently very touching, powerful performances, and is a real contender for the Oscars.
That doesn't sound lame. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that actually.
But actually, no, it's serious, so it's lame.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm
It's so
torn.
serious.
Oh, I want more jokes.
Come on, give me more jokes.
Tell you what, I'll give you Kate Blanchett just hamming it up.
Okay, good. I'm sold.
Done. In.
Done. Yeah, watch Mudbound.
Yeah, I'm actually super. I'm gonna go check the hell out of that.
Yeah, me too.
It's
Dion.
very good.
Plugs.
Plugs. You can follow me on Twitter at DionVanHeerden1. And that's about it. And I won't clutter up your Twitter feed with pesky tweets or anything like that.
Marcus.
You can follow me at Viking of Science on Twitter. You can also follow my YouTube channel at Escape from Mount Backlog, which is also on Twitter and, funnily enough, on YouTube as well. That's where YouTube channels are, right?
Predominantly.
Cool. Over there you can watch me play some games, sometimes with friends, sometimes alone. Friends stuff is usually on Wednesdays. We're currently playing through levels of Viscera Cleanup Detail, which, if you don't know, is a locally, as in South African, developed indie game, which is phenomenal and has wonky physics.
Hooray!
And this Friday, we will be closing out Shooter Month with sort of a guilty pleasure of mine. And I guess we'll leave it there.
Alright, cool. You can follow me at JMusicanth on Twitter if, like, you want to, I guess. Otherwise, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Podiant, YouTube, all CineBeards. Links in the description. Take care. We're gonna go grab some crabbies.
Woo! Crabbies!